Come and watch till the end. Railway she wants to know twice daily that every window overlooks Rachel's. A young lady lives here. Rachel has observed her for almost a year, and gradually she has gotten more she values. All Rachel lost, and Rachel draws on her fantasies and envisions life for husband and wife. Perfect Rachel and her ex-husband, Tom, live next door. Tom and his new wife reside here. Wife and kid. While Rachel is on the train, she always drinks her destructive behavior. Same Megan. Megan does not enjoy this town's dull existence. Her psychologist, Dr. Kamal, her complex connection, her marriage and her escape, 17 with her boyfriend. They lived in secrecy. Woodland Hunting Lodge. Megan's life used to be vibrant. It is over. Scott, Megan's husband, wonders if as a nanny she will desire to conceive. Megan. Anna, Tom's new wife, is introduced in the Anna's interests are daughter Megan as a nanny, not delight in the infant. That evening Megan stated she had another job. Since it is not for her, the news upset Anna. Unemployed but frequents storefronts and farmers markets, chose her newest items. Daughter Anna says no more crucial than parenting. Megan was not convinced, so Anna remembers the dreadful day when her daughter was in the window. Rachel's arms frightened me. After work, Anna told Tom. His ex-wife was calling. Another unknown number. Anna. Rachel's stalking annoys Tom. Promised to chat with her too. Tom, dismayed to discover Rachel left, while Megan resigned. Train and left as normal. Nighttime alcohol shopping. Drinking while watching her ex-husband. Facebook, calling him Katie. Rachel's host buddy witnessed this. Rachel spilled wine down the sink. For 2 years. She was stranded after the divorce. Rachel recalls her spouse struggled to conceive. Although their efforts were futile, the next day, physicians could not assist. Rachel is on the train watching. She wonders whether the girl immediately sees the train. Rachel knows she's alone on the balcony. Husband with another guy scares Rachel. Girl to fail and lose tension. Rachel drinks again, obsessing over girl and that guy. Rachel remembers her husband's letters. Realtor Anna. Rachel complains to a stranger. Barrowman, she is desperate. Anna has moved in. Rachel's home today. Fury again when she saw that lady betraying her husband. Quickly feelings. Rachel stated at that point she wanted to harm her. Rachel's barrage. Drunk is riding again. Rachel left at the halt. A railway man spotted. She was unfit and Rachel entered the forest to avoid seeing Megan. She chased her insultingly. Rachel did not wake up. Whatever she heard, message from her ex-husband who drove around accordance to Tom, Rachel, Anna, and she was barely convinced not to go. Police. Tom wants one thing for his ex-wife. Rachel does not comprehend. She scrubbed at night. Katie demanded entry. Explanations. Rachel was not ready. Discuss it before recovering. Rachel sees the video on her phone with the lady. Bartenders insult Anna. Rachel then chased Megan. It was awful. Rachel rides the train again tonight, thinking she went to Megan's residence last night, crying to manage addiction. Rachel. Alcoholics Anonymous. Explain about herself. Rachel confessed she was married, sinned often, drunk and forgetful. The husband apologized often. Rachel went on the train again. She saw, remembering how she insulted Martha, Tom's supervisor. During a party, the wife. Rachel lost control. Tom attempted reason with his wife, but she behaved aggressively as always. Intoxicated at Katie's home, the police awaited Rachel. Detective Riley queries Rachel's whereabouts. Friday night, Rachel pretended to be at work, visited her ex-husband, left the station, but knew it was a poor idea. Detective Riley handed Rachel a snapshot of Megan, learned this lady was missing that evening. Witnesses saw. Rachel denies Megan. Anything else too. Investigators caught her. Rachel was fired. Alcoholism. When detectives left, Katie asked her buddy about her day. Rachel said she was not working. Travels via train, money on nowhere tickets. Katie has no purpose of enduring and wants Rachel to leave within 2 weeks. Remembering. Rachel met the investigators before seeing Megan. Detective Riley officer doubts this narrative. Thinks Rachel is confused. Megan and Anna look alike. Tom's wife repeatedly told the cops Rachel has we're taken. 4 months ago, Megan informed her therapist she continuously deceives her spouse. Several affairs. Megan Scott is jealous and loves to control everything but she. Unsatisfied, Megan told Kamal she thinks him always. Now Rachel recounts Megan's disappearance and loses her brother. Parents long since her spouse Scott requests any information from Anna. Watch from the window how Rachel met Scott herself, Megan's pal, at the gallery. Rachel told Scott she saw Megan with another guy Friday morning. Scott was heartbroken. Rachel, Scott's features, raged when he offered Rachel a drink. Scott believed this guy was Kamal, his wife's therapist, resigned, showing Rachel a picture verified that Megan was with him for 2 months. Megan texted her boyfriend after meeting like nothing happened. Scott is heading home. Megan told Kamal about her husband bringing every conversation to get her. Megan's pregnancy was terrible. She is not ready to have children. Megan's history is related. Fascinated by Kamal, but he makes apparent that they are merely doctors, and Rachel observes. Kamal summons news, querying after years. Rachel seeks a goal. Megan's fate, Scott's message. Scott was on his way since the cops freed Kamal, however, owing to a lack of proof. Scott is suspected. Kamal told police. Counseling sessions. Jealous and suspicious Kamal, Scott hubby left Scott's home. Rachel spotted Anna and her ex-husband. Rachel remembered. Insists Anna struck her Friday evening. Tom stated that was complete. Stupid Anna was not in the tunnel. Tom asks his ex-wife again. The fact that Rachel helps Scott locate Megan. Tom thinks his ex-wife is going insane. Rachel attended treatment to Kamal seeks knowledge. Rachel also spoke about her. Rachel woke up forgetful. Morning, others tell her. Rachel thinks. Rachel has constantly denied it. Struggled to recall her past sketches, but the therapist failed. Why she began. Rachel said, trying to conceive with Tom, everything, but nothing worked. Rachel became depressed. Anna visited the police station to report Rachel again. Tom continuous messages and calls anonymously, but Anna officer Rachel Riley cannot stop Anna. Rachel's communications include only detective threats. Thinks Tom may chatting with his Anna doubted her ex-husband. She attempted to hack his PC but failed. Rachel examines her artwork. I hope to recall something. She did not anticipate seeing Scott. Reporters at the entrance. Outside his home 24/7, so Scott said that from the detective. Megan announced her pregnancy, but not her spouse. Scott dreamed of becoming a writer. Megan's father always had some excuses. This caused continual quarrels. Scott fell asleep. Rachel's chamber events. Then Megan bring back the past. She went to Kamal in her sleeplessness. She should not be up at night. She must also finally tell someone who has been bothering her. Years ago, Rachel, her boyfriend at the hunting lodge. Elizabeth was their daughter. Megan worried it would be challenging, but wrong parenthood was her December joy. Rachel and her guy fought and left. Leaky roof, freezing indoors, so Megan decided to bathe Elizabeth when Megan fell asleep. Woke up, nothing could remind Elizabeth. Megan, she sobs. After what occurred, her beloved departed and Rachel returned for more Kamal treatment. She recounted her drunkenness. Back to her former residence, she missed Anna was sleeping, so Rachel may carry the baby. Rachel's arms were free. Anna woke up and saw. It did not expect news so quickly. Reported Megan's body's discovery. Police are investigating. Reporters pursuing Scott everywhere. Less concerned because she dreaded. Anna spotted Rachel approaching. Scott's hometown observes Anna's altered. The spark is gone. Anna confessed. She frequently contemplated their past. Date Rachel secretly. Anna requested. If Tom enjoys misleading his wife, begged her to forget it, but Anna, obsessed with it. Rachel's peril. Anna suspects Rachel is frequenting Scott's home. Perhaps she was involved. Tom disagrees with Megan. Rachel came home. Scott was furious. That skill results that neither Scott and Kamal fathered. Rachel's child adds a third. Scott discovered Rachel is not Megan's buddy. Tom's insane ex-wife. This lie enraged Scott. The detective thinks he and Rachel are being unfaithful, yet Scott would never. When Scott departed, Rachel ran to the station, report her burglary. Detective Riley's apartment, her own account of everything. Rachel loved Scott's ex-neighbor, she overcame Megan. When Scott rejected Rachel, she decided, retaliate in this manner. Rachel claims Scott is innocent. Killed Megan, Riley stated. Scott's alibi. Scott was filmed. Occurrences occur at pub that night. As to Friday's Megan. Pregnancy test and contacted her lover. Meeting Kamal, who supported her. No romances soon. Megan and him. Kamal wants to help Megan overcome Rachel's motherhood phobia. Whoever saw it understood differently. Now Rachel, sitting at the bar again, notices same train guy. She questioned why followed her, but the man merely wanders through that tunnel daily after seeing how intoxicated. Rachel sensed that night that he wanted to assist her. Rachel believes she is the wanted criminal. Rachel wants the truth. Truth regardless, items, and thank you notes. Katie and Rachel reboarded the train. She approached Martha. Sorry, but Rachel's meaning escapes Martha. Rachel says, no party aggression. Martha overdrank. Gave her the guest bedroom to relax. Rachel remembered what truly mattered. Tom typically loses his temper and lashed out his wife. It turned out that Tom was dismissed for office politics because of Martha pity Rachel, guessing Tom's laptop password. Then suddenly she discovered a second phone in the bag. Anna's husband's correspondence when Anna pretended Tom returned. Everything was Oakwell. Rachel re-entered that passageway. Remembering fatal night, her recollection until Tom fell. Sleeping Anna called from outside. Lady and her husband texted. Anna did not anticipate Megan's voicemail. She discovered that Tom secretly dated Megan. Rachel. Recalling everything. Following Megan, she saw her enter Tom's automobile, saw his ex-wife, fearing exposure as unfaithful. He pulled Rachel away. The railway man seeing this helped Rachel, but she drove. Rachel went to see Anna. Tell her Tom was lying. Rachel also said Tom was Megan. Anna's fate departs in disbelief. House while Rachel screams. Tom's streetwide guilt. Rachel insisted that ex-husband confesses. Anna has told her husband now. She discovered his correspondence. Megan, all these. Rachel never called at night. Tom blames his wife spending her attention on the daughter without caring. Her spouse Rachel attempted. Tom calls the cops discreetly. Her phone and knocked her unconscious. We revisit that terrible night. In Tom's automobile, Megan, invited to see the woodland where they met. Megan wanted to chat immediately. Tom learned Megan was pregnant. Displeased and told when Megan refused. He pushed her, but he did not stop there today. Termed Rachel useless, stating she is alone. Rachel attempted to flee, but she unlocked it. To go outside. Tom pursued, chasing her, so Rachel fought him. Anna understood she was wrong. Always lying detectives. Scott first saw it. Detective Riley believed Rachel had another crime, but after she understood her and Anna. Because Tom caused everything. Rachel defended herself and Anna and Rachel returned. Megan tied their graves together. Destinies united. Rachel drinks and follows her favorite activity. Today she paints differently. Train and stares forward. Rachel changed. Come and watch till the end. She cannot remove the gag when she wakes up outdoors. She observes the lady using a gag to cross a river when she gets up. The lady glances at her and leaves. Behind her, guy passes. She joins him at a large field box. Others approach the box. However, the guy opens it. He takes out a rack of pistols when a pig runs out. The field, including the previous lady, goes toward the box. She unlocks one person using the keys. They flee when someone begins firing at them. She is shot while thinking she is safe. One of the field players fires at the shooter but dies. Others hide. A lady rushes out of the house and falls into a ditch. The person who rushes to aid her finds her stabbed but alive. While helping her up, he stumbles on a landmine. She and he flee and explode. Another runner hides behind a fence. He nearly shoots the guy who opens the package. Two more people in blue shirts tell him he does not want their money. He just wants to know where he is. They tell him he is in Arkansas and give him a phone so he can call the police. When the woman takes a cookie, she chokes on it as if it were poisoned, and the pair throws a smoke bomb at them while wearing gas masks. The man kills the blue shirt before he can shoot them. They use the bomb to choke the other person and then kill him too. The woman complains about the gas store. After that, they clean up the area and get rid of the dead. The woman feels bad when she sees a wedding ring on that blue shirt. Her husband says it does not matter because he is a bad person and probably even says the N-word. When they get a call on the radio, a couple is arguing about racism, so they tell the woman on the other end who they killed, and she tells them that another wanted person is coming toward them as she walks toward the gas station. When she arrives, they are ready and smile at her. Crystal asks for a pack of cigarettes and emergency money, then asks where she is. The lady responds as she collects her change, but Crystal knows something is amiss and slaps them. She murders the guy first, then the lady with the shotgun from behind the bar. Crystal checks the gas station and finds the dead, then grabs some rubber bands and bullets, puts her coat down, and walks out. She checks out the truck in front of her and finds that the plates are fake Croatian plates. Then she finds a wire attached to the door that leads to a bomb. She hides in the trees when she hears the others talking on the radio she stole, saying they are looking for her because the couple from the crystal stops him and tells him it is set up. She tells him that by shooting the drone, he basically told them they were at the gas station. She then starts walking towards some train tracks she saw earlier. He goes after her and tells her he has an idea about why they are being hunted and why they are there. He apparently read a story about a group of literal elites who kidnap people and take them to a house to hunt them down. Crystal doesn't doubt his views. Military police search each car when the train stops abruptly. When the guy informs one of the policemen that he and his wife are Americans and that the migrants are crisis actors, the police inspect all of their firearms. The police do not speak English, so when one of the foreigners speaks to the guy in great English with an American accent, he claims they do not believe him, and the other goes insane. The immigrant advises him to calm down as everyone else hides. The guy grabs him and places a bomb in his trousers, exploding him. Crystal rides a vehicle to a refugee camp. An officer leads her to a desk and requests her paperwork. After asking where she is, she begins pondering. A US government agent appears and leads them into the woods. After Dawn tells him everything, the official is startled and declares he will summon the State Department and soldiers to hunt their pursuers. Crystal kills the odd man by knocking him unconscious, pushing him out of the vehicle, and stepping on him. She discovers a pistol under his jacket. Dawn is frightened since she murdered the official while looking through the trunk. When he goes inside, he realizes that the other person with her is also dead. She finds a map, and Dawn says he believes they are the only two people remaining. Dawn wants to drive away, but she tells him not to. She wants to use the map to find the people who are after them so she can get back at them. She tells him a horrifying story that her mother used to tell her. Suddenly, the pig shows up again at the tunnel. The people who are after them talk about what is and is not politically right. One of them is an expert who is a fighter. He tells him to stop, but all they do is laugh at him on the radio. They can hear Athena telling them to be quiet when one of them goes outside to pee. Dawn distracts him with the pig and Crystal kills him when he gets to a tree. When the group gets back to the bunker, they hear something outside. The soldier tells them what to do, but they do not do it very well. All of them are scared, so when Dawn drops the pig inside, they shoot it. The woman is angry that they killed the pig. Suddenly, Crystal kills one of the men and shoots at the other. She makes the soldier unconscious and then stabs the woman. She fights with one of the other guys over a gun, but he steals the bullets from her. She puts another bullet in the gun and shoots him. Then she goes to the shooter and kills the last one. She thinks she has them all, but then the man grabs her and they start fighting. Crystal beats him with a roof pipe, but does not kill him. Though alive, she calls the lady a hick. Dawn rushes in just as Crystal pulls out a gun and is ready to shoot her. He finds a pistol, and Crystal tells him to ask the lady why they were harming them. Crystal wants to murder her since she gave a foolish response, but Dawn stops her by stating she is a woman and should be rescued. Crystal asks the woman if she should be given pity just because she is a woman, and when the woman says no, Crystal kills her. Dawn goes crazy, and all of a sudden Athena's voice comes on the radio. She asks if he has Crystal, and when he says no, she points her gun at him. He says he is not one of them. Even though Athena keeps asking over the radio what is going on, she tells Dawn to kill Crystal. But even though he begs her not to believe the woman on the radio, she shoots him anyway. Crystal tells Athena that Dawn is dead, and Athena tells her to come get her. Crystal sits next to the soldier and talks to him politely until she asks where Athena is. She tells him she will not give up and presses on his wound to get him to tell her where she is hidden. He tells her what to do but warns her that she has been getting ready for the hunt for months. He is also killed by Crystal. In a flashback to a year ago, we see Athena's office where two co-workers are waiting for her. They talk about the hunt-related text message she got. She says that it was just a joke. but they tell her that some people think it is real. Athena laughs, but the guy persists. He keeps suggesting a PR. Nightmare tells her she must resign her work, and she begs for a list of people who have confessed she hunts people as a plot. 8 months before the hunt, the gang chooses participants in another flashback. Athena urges them on. The slide suddenly shows Crystal. When the guy exhibiting the slides reads what Crystal says about Athena, Athena becomes upset and makes Crystal her greatest enemy. Crystal walks toward her home now. Crystal sets the rifle down and enters the home when Athena informs her over the speaker that she will set off the C4 beneath the gate if she does not leave it there. Crystal cautiously enters the home and stares at the images of herself and others on Athena's wall as Beethoven plays. She is silent. Crystal and Athena appear unaware of their identities. Crystal mocks her for setting up the search for the wrong reasons. This completes the storyline. She has the wrong Crystal. Another Crystal with her last name shared the horrible Athena conspiracy claims online. Crystal pursues Athena with a knife. They battle violently, with similar power and intensity. Crystal throws everything she can at Athena, including a champagne bottle that Athena saves. Athena pursues Crystal upstairs with a shotgun after she kicks her over the fireplace. Crystal survives. Athena dies. She rises, eats toast, and cauterizes her wound. She washes and wears Athena's clothing and shoes. She departs with costly champagne. She sees Athena's private jet outside. On the aircraft, she informs the stewardess and captain that she murdered their employers and threatens them with a pistol. Come and watch till the end. In the first season of You, New York bookshop manager Joe Goldberg obsesses with promising writer Guinevere Beck. He follows her and messes with her life to get close and date her. Joe's love at first sight with Beck is strange. He fantasizes about being with her and justifies his bad actions for love. Joe sneaks into Beck's room and observes her all day. Joe miraculously saves Beck as she falls over the railway tracks inebriated. When she gets a new phone, he snatches it to listen to her. Beck's on and off lover Benji is the first major obstacle to Joe capturing Beck's heart. Joe attacks Benji and locks him in his shop's book vault because he is a jerk. Joe murders Benji because he sees no way out. He burns Benji's corpse to make it appear like he fled away. Joe and Beck start dating when Benji dies, but another issue arises. Beck's closest buddy Peach is enamored with Beck and distrusts Joe. She manipulates Beck. Joe smashes Peach in the head with a rock and leaves her for dead out of rage. Joe's Peach survives. Peach is still skeptical that Joe assaulted her. She invites Beck to her family's house for a vacation and intends to move to Paris with her. Beck rejects the offer and departs the mansion after realizing Joe was correct about Peach's manipulation. Joe murders Peach and claims she killed herself because she was depressed. Joe and Beck can finally be together without Peach's interference. For many months, Beck becomes increasingly distant and secluded, making Joe envious and possessive. Joe then murders Beck. 4 months later, Beck's locker book is popular. Dr. Nikki, who was set up, is arrested clearing Joe. Just when it appears like Joe would get away with all his sins, his ex-girlfriend Candace comes up, alive and well, to speak about what they never concluded. Joe's ex-girlfriend Candace's whole story is revealed in You Season 2. After fighting about Candace's affair, Joe accidentally smacks her in the head. Joe covers Candace's corpse and flees. After being buried alive, Candace awakens. She asks police to arrest Joe, but they refuse. Candace must take retribution by ruining Joe's life and ensuring he never abuses another woman. Joe hides in Los Angeles when Candace returns. He kidnaps Will Bettelheim and steals his identity. He moves in and works at Anavrin's book section. Joe releases the genuine Will Bettelheim from the book vault if he keeps silent. This shows him he is improved. Love Quinn, a rich Anavrin family widow, swiftly becomes Joe's new love. Love, unlike Beck, commits to Joe from the start. Joe is concerned that Love will end up in the same place as Beck. Thus, he is reluctant to continue the connection. Joe finally caves in and begins a relationship with Love. Love's dependence on her twin brother, 40, makes their connection difficult. 40 is a recovered addict from a trust fund. He aspires to be a renowned writer and filmmaker but lacks the desire and talent. Joe will soon assist 40 draft the screenplay for his next movie, based on Guinevere Beck's novel. To make 40's life even worse, Love's twin brother begins dating Amy, Joe's ex-girlfriend Candace. Candace confides in Love that Joe is hazardous. Unfortunately, Love believes Joe that Candace is simply a psychotic ex-girlfriend who wants revenge. Joe also befriends Ellie, his new adolescent neighbor. When Ellie secures an internship with famed comedian Henderson, her elder sister Delilah informs Joe that Henderson sexually assaulted youngsters, including Delilah when she was younger. Joe becomes spiteful and tells Henderson about his prior mistreatment. Joe accidentally knocks Henderson down the stairs, killing him. Joe conceals another death. Delilah's officer, Pal Fincher, begins to suspect Joe murdered Henderson despite the police's claim. Delilah searches Joe's apartment for evidence, so Joe locks her in his book vault. Joe wants to liberate Delilah and leave the country with Love to avoid orphaning Ellie. Next morning, Joe discovers Delilah dead in the book room. Candace locks Joe inside and contacts Love to prove Joe is a murderer when she arrives. Candace's plot fails when Love kills her and tells Joe she murdered Delilah to preserve Joe's secret and prevent him from running away. Love then states that when she and 40 were kids, she murdered their au pair and that she has been manipulating Joe all season to make him fall in love with her, as Joe did to Beck in the first season. Joe considers murdering her over this. Love informs him she is pregnant, so Joe tries loving her again to be with his kid. Love forgives Joe, but 40 doesn't. He holds Joe at gunpoint and confronts them. Officer Fincher shoots and kills 40. The Quinn family covers up 40's murders of Henderson and Candace. Joe offers Ellie a lot of money and promises to keep giving her money while she starts a new life. After fixing his issues, Joe may live with Love and raise their kid in a comfortable suburban home. Joe cannot forget Love since she is a murderer, but he has already set his eyes on his new next-door neighbor, who he wants much more. Season 3, Joe and Love want to enjoy a nice family life in the Madre Linda suburbs in U, but things go awry immediately. Joe obsesses on their new neighbor, Natalie Engler, and neglects his wife, Love, and their kid Henry. Love kills Natalie after discovering Joe loves her. Joe and his wife cover Natalie's death and make acquaintances in their new area after helping Love dispose of her corpse. Joe falls in love with Marianne, a librarian who employs him to repair rare books. Joe follows Ryan to support his new girlfriend after learning that Marianne's ex-husband used foul methods to acquire custody of their small kid. Ryan discovers Joe is following him, forcing Joe to murder him. Love opens a bakery and installs an underground plexiglass vault. When Gil, a local anti-vaccination campaigner, accidentally gives Henry the measles, Love blames Gil for Natalie's death. Love befriends popular monk Sherry Conrad. She proposes an open relationship with Love and Joe with her husband Carrie. Joe accepts because he wants to divorce. Joe and Love accidentally admit they killed Natalie while having new sexual escapades with the Conrads. Joe and Love must control the Conrads and lock them in the plastic vault, which the odd Conrads like. Love begins a new connection while Joe pulls away to pursue his new interest. Theo, a college student, falls in love fast. Love discovers that Theo is the stepson of Natalie's murdered husband, Matthew Engler. Theo informs Love that Matthew does not think Gil is the murderer and has been observing Madre Linda's residence without authorization. After Matthew gave up, Theo witnessed Joe driving Natalie's vehicle on tape and raced to the bakery to warn Love about her husband's misdeeds. Theo discovers the Conrads imprisoned in the bakery. Joe protects him when Love knocks him unconscious. Joe asks for a divorce when Love finally admits his obsession with Marianne. Love offers her spouse Aconite to paralyze him. She then informs Marianne that Joe murdered Ryan. Love attempts to murder her husband once Marianne leaves. Joe claims he took an antidote. He kills Love, blames her for Madre Linda's murders, and destroys their home. Sherry and Carrie emerge from the vault stronger than ever. Matthew and Theo reconcile, and Joe leaves Henry with Dant and travels to Paris to find Marianne.